ICO is an acronym for Individual Community Options. It's a service at Alkira and allows people the opportunity to do activities on an individual basis, as opposed to doing it with 6 other people from Alkira. So the activities could be work experience, voluntary work, open employment, recreation activities, social activities, or further education. It allows people the choice and flexibility to A, choose what type of service they want, and B, how to utilise their funding. It's great.
I love the job. I love coming down here. I love to give back to the community.
Desires, their aspirations and goals. And through our My Plan development, we actually try and draw those out of the individual, and we look at people's strengths, we look at their abilities, we look at what they really like and what they're good at, and then we try and place them in the wider community.
Reason why I got a job, because I believe myself.
What's been your experience working here, Michael?
I love working in here.
Why is that?
Make new friends.
Yeah.
I've been saving up a lot of money to go on one big trip to go down to Queensland.
It's exciting.
Yes, it is.
So what are you doing today?
I'm cutting up tomatoes for cakes, and this is fishing, and I come here to help to cook for people who are homeless.
There's 3 sources of requests. The first source is the momentum. That every year we have to place about 20 people for work experience, and that can be for a couple of hours for 6 to 8 weeks. The second source of requests are the direct requests. It might be from the client themselves or their parents or the staff. And the third source of requests might be from the My Plan process. Well, firstly, you've got to find out what the person's skills are and what they want to do. Once you establish that, approach the employer and give that employer an opportunity to meet the person. Once they've done that, I always recommend they have a trial period, and then you can ascertain if both parties happy.
What Tara shows is that we've been able to provide an opportunity to her where she has fitted in quite well, where she is able to do the volunteering work, the activities that we ask of her and any other volunteer. She's just like anyone else really here, and that's how she is treated and that's how she's respected.
If an employer is apprehensive about taking on one of the students or clients of Alkira, that's understandable, because at the end of the day, you know, if you haven't had experience working with disability, it's the unknown.
Look, I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and you can look at it as, you know, something which is a negative, or you can look at it as something that's a positive. For a lot of people who don't understand people with, or who had no contact or minimal contact with people with disabilities, they're almost in fear. There's a strong element of fear there. If you go past the fear, and you look at treating the person as an individual, seeing what their needs are, and then working with that, out of that comes enough skills for them to be able to contribute.
The employers are key to the entire process, because it's down to the attitude, it's down to the open-mindedness, and it's certainly not down to a charitable way of thinking, but it's to an open-minded way of thinking.
We believe in equal opportunity, certainly into the workforce. As far as Tanya's concerned, she's proved to be capable of doing the tasks we asked her to do. And it gives us pleasure, to see somebody of a disability, no matter what it may be, to participate in the workforce.
With Jenny.
Ready? Alright. Alright, I've got your gloves. there.
Good.
And we need the plastic bags.
What else?
Yeah, a couple of minutes left.
The idea of that ICO have is to actually very gently introduce people, our clients, our students, to employers, have discussions, talk about the value add that people can contribute to a business.
When she first started, she was a little bit shy, and just slowly over about a year, she has just blossomed. Blossom's the word I use for her. She greets us with a smile. She's a real asset. She's lovely. She's even getting knowing how to work the room a bit. You come in and she says, "How are our favourite customers?" And she's just lovely.
I'm lighting candles, just to make this place to be brighter.
Peter from All Smiles, she didn't have just Emily working at the back doing the dishes. She had Emily out the front doing the coffees, taking the orders. Meaningful work, that's inclusion.
Yes, boss.
The ICO team, in conjunction with other supports within Alkira, whether they be volunteers or other staff members, we always ensure that there are supports for not only our clients but also the employers.
When you get the right match, when you've got someone employed and then the employer really takes them on board, like David for example, he was fantastic. He said, "Louise, we need help. I haven't got the capacity to keep reminding Michael, to retrain Michael." So he was open and honest with us. So then it was our job then to make the aids, support Michael. So it worked for David, it worked for Michael, his parents and us. It was great.
He's really largely self-sufficient in terms of the skills, and he's picking up more skills as he goes along. He's showing a lot more confidence. He's taking on responsibility, which is great. So we set a standard, and we've required Michael to reach that standard rather than lower our standard back so that he could cope. So, and he's done it. He's done really, really well, and we're just delighted. But the cost is far less than the benefit. And the benefit is seeing someone who starts to blossom.
I've been pleasantly surprised that employers have come back and said, "Wow, productivity, incredible. I thought someone with an intellectual disability would have to have their hand held through the entire process and be guided through everything. I didn't think they'd be able to work alone." And yet here we are, we have somebody who's had on-the-job training, they've got the supports in place, and they're now working autonomously.
Okay.
So we had an interview with Nathan from Wanturna, McDonald's. He didn't look at me once. He treated Rebecca with such dignity and respect. The first question he asked her was, "Why do you want this job?" The same questions that you and I would get asked. And she handled it beautifully, and about half an hour after the interview, he said, "I'll get in touch with your referees and I'll get back to you."
It makes obviously us and my boss feel good to be helping out the community, and it makes Beck feel good about it. So I know she enjoys working here, and she does the job fine. So the fact that she's got an intellectual disability does not affect her work performance at all.
There is a great richness that people with disabilities can add to an organisation in the same way as you would have organisations with both men and women and younger and older people. If you include all people from all aspects of our society in an organisation, you're going to get a greater richness and a greater productivity and greater success in what you do.
Well, she's actually learnt a lot, I've noticed, over the time. Instead of telling her what to do, she now takes her own initiative in doing her jobs, which is really helpful for us, so we don't have to always be watching what she's doing or looking after her necessarily. She's taking on her own work ethic, I'd say.
I've been surprised how well they've coped and adapted to our business, and putting stock away, merchandising, and the girls wonderful actually rave about.
I love to cook, and cooking is my passion.
That's wonderful. Where's that big smile of yours?
Right here.
I found this company as a home to me.
And how does that make you feel?
It feels great, it's comfortable.
So how would you encourage other people to go and get a job?
You sister. And make you make your sister your dreams.
I guess I'm a cookie girl, so in the car.